Hello and welcome into Pat Strathman's video blog, take two, or week two, you might want to call it. I'm sitting here in my family room, and something I'm going to be doing all throughout the year is sitting in different rooms. I know people probably want to see me in my same spot, giving the same things, but I actually want to give a little different background, not only different parts of my home here in Seneca, Kansas, but also even in other areas, maybe back in Lawrence, Kansas, probably in my dorm room. Not much to see there though. It's a little small, so I might be doing it in different areas. So that's just something new that I'm gonna be doing. Today is Friday. It's not Sunday. I'm doing it now for many different reasons. One reason to why I'm doing it today on Friday, I'm gonna upload it on Sunday, so you guys will be watching this currently on Sunday. Don't worry about it. But the reason why I'm doing it today is because Sunday I have to work. I have to work from 12 to 6, and I'm going to be staying at another person's house, and I feel like it would be a tad bit annoying. Maybe I'd have them on my vlog. Maybe that's what I should have done, just have them on a video vlog. But anyways, I'm going to be in Lawrence from Saturday all the way to Tuesday. I'm not going to have any other time to do the video blog until now. I'm going to be traveling to Lawrence late tonight, so that's the main reason you guys are watching this right now. That way I can get it done. But I'm going to go ahead and start it off right now. First off, I'll talk some news that's been going on in not only the NFL, but in pretty much in everything in the worldwide sports. But pretty much the big news here, it is Friday, so I'm not going to catch Saturday and Sunday's news, which is kind of disappointing, because Sunday, go Chiefs! I'm going to be rocking some Chiefs gear. I know I'm wearing a Dartmouth shirt right now, but that's because my brother is a professor at Dartmouth. But anyways, back to the main topic. Big news, especially today, Jim Harbaugh is actually going to go to the NFL, to the San Francisco 49ers. And this really doesn't surprise me, but yet it kind of does. I mean, here's a couple different reasons. One is Andrew Luck is staying at Stanford, all right? He's going to stay and is committed to getting his degree, as he likes to call it. Now, I know some people really disagree with Andrew Luck staying at Stanford because they realize that his draft stock could go down all next year. Well, I think it's a smart move because there's not really a lot of quarterbacks out there. But I mean, if you are that close to the degree, why not finish it? And plus, he had a great year, and I think I think he did a great job against against Virginia Tech. That was a huge blowout. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch it, I suggest you to watch replays of it. But they owned Virginia Tech in the second half, and I feel like if he does come back for next season, they even have another chance to even go undefeated, maybe even a possible BCS National Championship. Not saying it, too early to call it right now, but certainly you can think of that. But without the head coach, Jim Harbaugh, it's not going to matter. Andrew Luck, dumb decision now. But I figure that Jim Harbaugh would have stayed for this reason, because Andrew Luck stayed at Stanford. If Jim Harbaugh noticed that his star quarterback is staying at Stanford, then he probably would have been more reliant to stay at Stanford. And like the report said, it was either between Stanford or the 49ers of San Francisco. Now, I don't blame him for choosing the NFL because certainly there's a lot of good NFL positions open right now. 49ers is definitely an appealing option. Oakland Raiders right now is an open position. Tom Cable just got fired. Many different. Miami was going after Harbaugh. There's a lot of different teams out there that really were looking for head coaches, and I think Jim Harbaugh could chose wherever he wanted. But 49ers will be somewhat on the uprise, I guess. I mean, they have a decent quarterback in Alex Smith. They don't really have that good of a backup, but they do have a decent option. Frank Gore, he was on IR this season, so once he comes back next season, he certainly, add a little running game to the offense. And the defense ain't bad. They have a star linebacker in the name of Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis has really been a phenomenal player ever since he stepped on the field as a rookie, and he's really done a great job there in San Francisco. So, and of course, they have one of the best tight ends in the game. Not saying anything bad against Tony Gonzalez or anything like that, but Vernon Davis. And sorry if my voice sounds really bad, it's because I really have a cold right now. One of the worst things for a broadcaster to have or to experience is to be sick. And next week I have to call 3 games, and I don't know how I'm going to get through it, but I'm hoping that I clear up all throughout this weekend. But that's just a little bit of news. Jim Harbaugh, it was kind of a shocking decision, but yet, it makes sense. I don't blame him for leaving. I mean, you should have a chance at the next level, and you should take it. And I think Pete Carroll would be one person to think of that. Pete Carroll, is in the playoffs. I mean, he won with Seattle last week against the St. Louis Rams, and now he's in the playoffs. Probably going to get stomped by the New Orleans Saints, but other than that, he's still in the playoffs. Good move by Pete Carroll. And Jim Harbaugh, man, thinks the same thing for San Fran. Plus, he's going to the NFC West. NFC West is absolutely atrocious. And if he figures that he can go to that team, and maybe with the talent that they have, they certainly underperformed this season under the helm of Mike Singletary. So if Jim Harbaugh thinks that there's talent there, I think that he made a good decision because they are in a weak division. Now, time for the main topic of the day, and it's time for a little BCS National Championship talk. I like to break it down and give a little my opinion about it. I know you guys probably have many different opinions, but certainly this is getting a lot of buzz, and I certainly love to talk about college football. And first off, I want to say the EA Sports Simulation in NCAA 11, they have Oregon winning at 45-41. I actually saw little highlights of it. It was kind of unique. But do I think it's going to be that high scoring? No. I mean, both these offenses are really, really high scoring, but I do not think that they will be that good. Now, let's go and get a little preview here. Of course, both teams undefeated. Oregon is 12-0. They finished 9-0 in the Pac-10. And all their wins have been really impressive. They all start off with New Mexico with 72-0 victory. I think that really set the tone. Ever since then, they never looked back. Couple struggles here and there. Arizona State was kind of a stumble. They only won that game by 11 points. Stanford was still a very solid victory. I don't think any problems there. They defeated USC. They did a good job there. Only slip up in the schedule was Cal, and that was 15-13. Cal found some way to shut down that Oregon offense, and of course they're number one in the nation with points forced, with 49.3 points a game being forced. Rushing yards, 303 yards per game, the fourth best rushing attack in the nation, and then their defense has been stellar as well, only 14th in the nation, only allowing 18 points a game. So they're doing a good job, and it's going to be tough to stop Oregon because Oregon is high paced. They love to push the ball. They certainly love to score as fast as they can, and I think that's what makes Oregon so lethal in this opportunity against the Auburn Tigers, because I think that they can really cause some problems against Auburn, because Auburn struggled a little bit too. But like I mentioned, 12-0 in the 12-0 as a team, 9-0 in the Pac-10. What's soon to be a Pac-12 next year. That should be very interesting to see how they'll do again. But Oregon certainly the only slip up with the California, and that was at Cal. Certainly a tough game for them. Now for the Tigers of Auburn. This is what's going to make it go back and forth. Is because of their schedules and how much they won against teams. First game, no problem, Arkansas State. They won 52-26. Next game at Mississippi State, 17-14. Tigers win barely. Next week versus Clemson at home, 27-24 in overtime. Next week, South Carolina, number 12 at the time, 35-27, won by 7. 3 games in a row where they won by 7 points or less. And I think this might be a problem for Auburn. I'm just saying that right now, but let me continue going on to the schedule, and I'll talk more about it. At Kentucky, 37-34. They barely won that one. They killed Arkansas in a shootout, 65-43. But then LSU, number 6 at the time, 24-17, getting in 7-point victory. Alabama, of course, at Alabama, number 11 at the time when they faced them, 28-27, and a thriller came back and won it for the Tigers of Auburn. But then the SEC Championship game, South Carolina, 19th at the time, 56-17, blowout victory. Now, here is the key to why I think this might be a problem. Clemson, not that good of a team. If they struggle against Clemson, how in the heck do they expect to do that well against the Oregon Ducks? Mississippi State, I might add. They are an SEC team. Don't get me wrong. Mississippi State is a good team. The problem is Mississippi State, though, they're not that good either. I mean, why do you struggle against teams that are not so great? I mean, they have made bowl games. Don't get me wrong. But they're not that good of a team. South Carolina, excellent team. I don't have any problem with them winning by 7. Kentucky was an interesting team as well. They are an SEC team. I think people need to look at Kentucky and see how well their offense did in that ball game, because their offense was stellar out there at the ball game. They gave Auburn problems. And LSU, of course, another team. One of my teams I pick as most overrated every single season because they are. All right? They are overrated. Okay? Get that through your minds. They can barely win a ball game, especially through clock management against Tennessee. But I only got another 5 minutes left, so I'll try to wrap it up as soon as I can. But Auburn, I'll run through some stats with them. Of course, rushing yards in the nation, 5th in the nation, 287 yards per game, points forced 42.7, 4th overall, and points against allowed 24.5, 54th in the nation. That could be the kicker here. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going back and forth in my mind as I speak, so I will make my decision at the very end here. But I think what we got to look at here is the strength of schedules. I think Oregon, they rolled against many different teams. They only faced one team that was 18 or higher. One team, and that was in Stanford. And that was early on in the season when they won 52-31 at home at Oregon. Now, for Auburn, a little bit different story here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 victories with 18 or above. All right? I think that's what's going to be the kicker here. Auburn playing much tougher competition. At the same time, Oregon has really played no one. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. Pac-10, they are strong, don't get me wrong. But I'm still going to have to say that Auburn has faced much more competition. Of course, that's SEC. They have been dominant. They have been doing a great job in the BCS Championships. They've won plenty of times in the past. It could be back-to-back-to-back. They won 2 times before this game, this year. So I think that SEC has been really dominant. So it's going to be really interesting to see in the ball game. I think you're really going to have to look at both offenses. I think both offenses are going to really come out and really be stellar in this one. Obviously, Cam Newton going to come out with, I think he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder. He's going to go out there and prove people wrong. I think Cam Newton himself is going to keep people in the ball game. And don't count out their running back, Michael Dwyer, because he has been a really solid running back for this team. I mean, Michael Dwyer has been a good job on the rushing part for the Tigers. I mean, he certainly doesn't have the numbers as Cam Newton. Cam Newton, of course, is the best rushing person on this team, but Michael Dwyer, 160 carries for 950 yards. These 50 yards to get to the 1,000-yard mark, averages about 6 yards a carry with 5 touchdowns. So I think that Michael Dwyer could be a weapon here. As for Oregon, of course, they have the #1 offense in the nation for points forced. Derek Thomas has been doing a good job through the air, 2,500 yards, 28 touchdowns. He's been having a phenomenal year. LaMichael James, though, 3rd in the Heisman voting, and I think he could be a weapon as well. Averages 6 yards a carry, 21 total touchdowns with 1,600 yards as well. So he's been doing a good job as well. Excuse me a second, guys. These. Man, I hate being sick. All right, 2 minutes left, and I gotta make a pick here, and you know I'm going back and forth. I mean, 51% likes Auburn in Sports Nation, while 48% think Auburn is going to win as well. I mean, it's going to be really tough to choose a team. Both teams very phenomenal. Obviously, they are the 2 best teams in the nation. I don't think anyone else can argue that. TCU does not even come close to an argument between Oregon or Auburn because the way that they face different teams in the conference. Now, Oregon, if you haven't read an article, they really do a good job because they outrun people. They can let teams hang off throughout the 3rd quarter, and then they'll push on in that 4th quarter and outrun everyone. I think that's going to be the key here. I think it's going to be Oregon's defense is going to be the biggest key, and Auburn's defense as well. I think Oregon, they need to slow down Cam Newton. How? I don't know. There's going to be some way to do it. Cam Newton is really a tough competitor. Not only is he a phenomenal football player and deserving of the Heisman, but he still is a phenomenal football player, and you got to find some way to shut him down. Now for Auburn, Auburn's got to find a way to slow down this rushing attack and not allow so many points. So, my final prediction, I'm going to go and say that Auburn gets it done. They are the favorite in this ballgame. I think Oregon has a lot of firepower, but I don't think that Cam Newton and Michael Dwyer will let anything stop them from their national title here. I think Auburn will pick up the victory. Cam Newton will do exactly what I'm saying, come out with a chip on his shoulder and do very well. Final score, 35-32. I think Auburn will win in a thriller, and I think it will be something to live up to the hype about. And that's my picks for the BCS National Title Game. Thank you for tuning in. Keep looking every single Sunday for uploads of my videos and my video blogs, and I really appreciate all you guys watching and listening to this. I really do appreciate it. Follow me at pjsportscaster.com, PJ Sportscaster on Twitter. Thanks.